the situation just to be sure. So effectively now that we've come back from public excluded, in that session you've identified some key commercial terms that you want to delegate to the Chief Executive, so that's been captured in those minutes and resolved, and now we're back to recommendations or resolutions A to F, because we've previously resolved through G, so that's what's on now on the table.
Okay, so now any questions on those recommendations A to F? Right, I'll move to the mover and seconder. Would you wish to speak to the motion? Councillor Kerr?
Very briefly, but I note before I do...
Oh, sorry, Councillor Nixon.
No, it wasn't a question, it was to follow on.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Councillor Nixon.
Okay, I'll just sort of quickly go over some figures I mentioned earlier before we went into PX. When I thought about it a bit more, 54% of the respondents, weighted by value, said yes, 37% no, and at that point I added the 9% that didn't answer. Statistically, that's improbable. The chances are that some of those, at least some, will vote in the same proportions as the main vote. And I just did this quick sum, thought, well, let's say it's 6 of those that didn't answer would say yes, 3 said no. That would actually push the yeses up to 60%. And if we were talking 60-40, we wouldn't even be having this discussion. And I think we just need to balance our understanding of those numbers in order to come to the right decision. So that's my contribution.
Thank you, Councillor Nixon. Councillor Kerr, right of reply.
Yeah, thank you, Councillor Nixon. That was one of my points. As said earlier, this is a technically sound solution. It's going to work. The funding element, the funding spread is logical. And this is stage 2 of a process that should have happened 10, 15, maybe 20 years ago. And I think it's beholden upon us, this council who've been doing the work, to actually tick go. Sometimes in this job, it's so much easier to simply say, no, it's too hard. So I'd like to acknowledge the staff that have worked tremendously hard over a long period of time to shape this into a space where we can say yes, and say yes with a very robust logical reasons behind it. So for that, Your Worship, that is why I'm supporting the motions. Thank you.
Thank you. Well said, Councillor Kerr. Councillor Fowler, right of reply as a seconder.
Thank you, Worship. Yeah, I won't go into too much repeating, but as our accountant, economist, and our statistician, Councillor Nixon has pointed out, there is support. Thank you for that, Councillor Nixon. And as I said before, there is a need because there is a solution which has been agreed with, and also too, I believe the rating solution now is the appropriate one.
Thank you, Councillor Fowler. Councillor Corbyn.
Thank you, Your Worship. I support the motion as well. This has been a 2-stage project, and we're well beyond implementing the second stage. It was supposed to be implemented when 50% of the land area was developed, but it wasn't. There's been plenty of opportunity for consultation, and we heard some of the differing views here today. It has been confused by the Stop Bank breach and what that contributed most recently. But in the end, I think what we're getting is a proposal. The current operation is 1 in 5 service, which won't operate if the river is high. And and that services 70% of the property. What we're going to get is a 1 in 50 year servicing 100%. So I'm in favour.
Thank you, Councillor Corbyn. Councillor Monteputo-Hendry, can I thank you both for attending all of the public meetings and making sure we've listened to the community well. Thank you.
Thank you, through you, Your Worship. In the current climate that we're in, a state of recovery or rebuild and the need for mitigation and a form of protection from natural hazards, this is an opportunity to provide an increased level of service that not only suggests a lesser chance of flooding, but also a greater chance for growth in our industry. I also note that whilst no one can ever guarantee being able to stop water, a kick derriere pump in some form and keeping some dry gunpowder on a rainy day is definitely my cup of tea. So I speak in favour. Thank you.
Thank you, councillor Monteputo Hendry. So any further speakers? No, we have a mover and a seconder. This is the resolution A to F. I'm going to put those recommendations. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Any against? Thank you, that's carried. And a big thank you to the staff for the enormous amount of work that's gone on. Thank you. Moving on to item 6, the Waipariki Wastewater Treatment Plant, update and next steps. Thank you, Steve. This is you in this hot seat again.
Thank you. Straight into it.
Yes, thank you.
Yep. Okay, kia ora koutou. Just a welcome round. We've got a couple of our key consultants in the, yep, that'll be there. Gray Wilson and James Taylor. Gray Wilson, some of you will be familiar with from Good Earth Matters, one of our planning consultants, and James Taylor from Development Partners, engineering consultant. And also Dave McKenzie, our relatively new Three Waters operations manager that still has a foot in the wastewater manager camp. Yeah.
And had a busy weekend.
And had a busy weekend, yes. So I'll step through this relatively quickly and then hand over to taking the report as read and question and answers from the team. So essentially this report is an update on the integrated wastewater schemes, which is in two components for Waipariki. There's a community wastewater treatment plant and a campground wastewater treatment plant. The report is seeking direction from council to engage with landowners as a precursor to formal engagement to inform the annual planning process next year. And that part of the report is about engaging with landowners on a targeted rate that is required to be set in some way, shape or form due to capital work upgrades required at the community wastewater treatment plant. In parallel with that work, and as mentioned, there's two components to the integrated scheme. There's the campground has a wastewater treatment plant as well. Traditionally, it's been managed by Hawke's Bay Regional Council. When the campground was acquired in public ownership back in 2016, there was agreement from the three councils, being Napier City, Hastings and Hawke's Bay Regional Council, to purchase the campground. Napier's contribution was a one-off. The Hastings District Council and Hawke's Bay Regional Council had a deed of nomination that set out several conditions and heads of agreement between the two parties. It was quite brief and open to ambiguity, and it's taken some time to sort out those responsibilities, and we're still not fully there, but it has become clear in recent months, this calendar year, that the campground wastewater treatment plant, its operation and maintenance for the main part is the responsibility of Hastings District Council. The consent for the campground wastewater treatment plant expired, which was held by Hawke's Bay Regional Council, expired in 2024. They sought a short-term consent, which they obtained for 10 years, with a substantial systems review of the campground wastewater treatment plant in 5 years from granting of that consent, which is around 2029. The campground wastewater treatment plant requires significant upgrade as well. The combined value of the upgrades for the community wastewater treatment plant and the campground wastewater treatment plant is approximately 2.4 million and 1.2 million for each. We're wanting to separate given the campground wastewater treatment plant has a consent and has a 10-year consent, noting that it needs to have a systems review in 5 years and requires quite a substantial upgrade, probably in about 3 to 5 years' time. It's not immediately urgent, so separating that out. But the community wastewater treatment plant, that consent expired in May of this year. We lodged a consent application with Hawke's Bay Regional Council. It's currently operating under section 124 while we work through the process to complete required upgrades to meet new environmental standards, but also the physical constraints of the site around geotechnical stability and erosion, being as it's domiciled next to the Waipariki stream. And so, coming to the main point of the report in terms of Hastings District Council and the Community Wastewater Scheme, we're wanting to approach the community on the basis of a targeted rate that sees of the 1.2 million for the community wastewater treatment plant upgrade, of a 10% public good component, a 20% contribution based on harmonisation, and that's linked to a similar approach to that of the small community water treatment plant upgrades, and then 70% of that cost to be borne by the community that wastewater plant serves. And I've just from recollection, I think it's about $1,670.
Councillor
Yeah,
Kerr.
$1,670 per year, or $16,700 in total over a 10-year term for the properties.
Councillor Kerr, you've been working on this project from the inception. I wonder if you would like to, or question or make a comment at this point?
Firstly, Your Worship, I have a very simple question. When did we get this community to move from self-treatment septic tanks onto the community wastewater scheme? Do we recall that?
2005 was the system became operational.
Okay, so 20 years ago we requested the community transfer to a community scheme, and I know the community out there are very environmentally aware and are in general supportive of making sure that their footprint is light on the environment. This is a very logical solution, that the scheme is designed in a way, upgraded in a way that it can look after both the campsite, which is on one side of the stream, and the community on the other side of the stream, and very much support going and talking to that community as soon as possible. And I understand, Mr. Cave, you have been having conversations with the president of the Community Association anyway. So support this report as written and the recommendations, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Kerr. Do I have a seconder, please? Thank you, Councillor Butto. Any further questions or comments, councillors? This is next steps for this solution. Steve, you've said everything you wish to speak.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, okay, thank you. All right, we have a mover and a seconder. If there's no further questions or comments, I'm going to put those recommendations. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Any against? Thank you. That's carried, and good luck with those next steps to the team. Well done. Can I call on Councillor Henry Hickey to close us with a karakia? Thank you, councillors, and thank you to our community who may have joined us today for a very important matter on the Whakatū stormwater, a project that has gone on for a very long time, and we've got a pathway forward. Could I ask everybody to just remain in their seats as we close with the karakia? Thank you, Councillor Hickey.
Kia ora, Your Worship, and just I would like to thank the officers and the team for our excursion out to Flaxmere this morning. It was a beautiful day, and what a great way to finish our afternoon. So let's all share in our karakia, e noi tātou. Kia tau, kia tātou katoa, te atu whao tō tātou ariki a ihu karaiti, me te harawa o te atua, me te whiwhinga taitanga, ki te wairua tapu, ake. Amen. Good afternoon.
Kia ora. Thank you to the team and for everyone who joined us today. Mā te wā.
Your worship, we got a workshop